All right, here we are back, like once again.
What up? What
Uh,
up?
Random Richards podcast. In case you didn't know. So, um, as you know, I'm down in Florida, and there's a lot of Trump supporters down here, which is fine. Got no issues with Trump supporters. That's who you like. Go for it. That's what this country's all about. Just found it weird. I was down by Daytona, and just this people campaigning on the corners. I'm not exactly sure who they were campaigning for, but there were guys with like 2020 Trump signs, and I'm just like, it's a little early for that, no? But while I'm passing them, I see a BLM sign, but it's not a Black Lives Matter sign, it's a Blue Lives Matter sign. To which I say, um, who's saying they don't? Do we really need a movement for cops saying that their lives matter? I mean, I know this is nothing new. I know this is something that's been going on, but this is something that people keep, um, you know, they just keep bringing up. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't most people think lives matter?
you know what? Like, here's my issue with it. Like, I think there's a certain percentage of the country now who has decided to go all the way off a fucking cliff, and it's fuck all police officers, fuck all law enforcement, and you know, you know, it's not the answer. It's not the solution. It does nothing to like resolve the issues that are happening.
Agreed.
Um, so what has happened is now people are saying, okay, we're going to rally behind law enforcement, and they've turned this into a blue lives versus black lives matter issue, and it's not. It's not.
Yeah, and and it goes back to what we talked about last week with for some reason people take Black Lives Matter, that slogan, that movement, to mean that it matters more than other lives. And that's just not the case. And I don't understand why that is so hard for these people to understand, including our own mother, because we had a conversation about this past weekend. And she couldn't seem to wrap her head around it. So I don't know if it's just the olds or um, the pro white, fuck everything else. Um, the racists, I don't know. I don't know why this is so hard to wrap your head around. So I don't know how many times we can say it. Nobody's asking for their lives to mean more. That's not what it's about. I like, and I tried explaining this to her in 5 different ways, and I don't even know if I got through to her. Um, it just kept coming back to the same thing. Well, all lives matter. Well, all lives matter. And to the point where you, you see these people continuously defacing where they put the Black Lives Matter on the streets and stuff like that. More recently, the black lady did it with the black paint, and that fucking officer, the poor bastard, slipped on it and cracked his face.
Yeah,
I hope he's all right, but it was still funny. If he's all right, if he's hurt, then it's not that funny. I take it back. So I might have to edit out that laugh. But
which I mean, so he's on. I guess he's on leave. He like hurt himself, but it wasn't major. He'll recover. Um, but it was a white officer who was defending the Black Lives Matter, like that
well,
was written on the road.
so let's let's take it a bit deeper. Let's talk about um, should these slogans even be on the road? Because if you really think about it, it goes back to the face mask controversy almost in a different way. Obviously, that's a private business. But, like, what happens when the next cause catches a wave and there's a majority of people supporting it and they want to do something like paint a Confederate flag in front of on a major street, on a major roadway, or paint Trump 2020 like some woman's trying to do, and it's the reason they got rid of it somewhere. I think it's somewhere in California or San Francisco or something. They actually got rid of the Black Lives Matter stuff overnight because the wording on the street, because some woman asked to do a Trump 2020. So that's where we're headed. And that's another slippery slope where do we really need to start doing that? And additionally, does it even matter? What the fuck does it matter? If you can write Black Lives Matter, you can have it tattooed on your dick, and it doesn't mean shit until there's actual action and change. So for me, these cities writing it on streets doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. What means something is change, like what Pennsylvania is doing, where they've created a statewide database of bad cops. So one bad cop can't go from one city to another and get another job. Mm. And we need that like countrywide. National. Yes. Yeah. So go ahead.
And I think the whole thing, like, it all stemmed from the mayor of DC, when she, like, to make a political statement to the president, decided to put Black Lives Matter in large font on Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House so that it was visible for him. And then it became this bandwagon thing that people did all over the country. And, you know, in DC, where it was located, it made sense. That, you know, putting it there made sense. That freedom of expression and the point that she was trying to make to him made sense. But in other places, it doesn't make sense. I think you open Pandora's box for all kinds of issues.
Well, let political battles be handled in political forms. Let's not start. I just think it's a bad precedent to set because what if the next mayor, or what if one of the just true Southern mayors says, all right, you want to do that? You want to get rid of my Confederate flag? I'm painting this bitch right in front of the State House, or whatever, in front of the courthouse, the city hall, whatever. Like, who's going to stop them from doing it? Yeah, it'll probably get defaced the same way the BLM stuff is getting defaced. But you're opening a can of worms that you probably shouldn't open, because it doesn't even matter. It doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. Go fucking make something happen. That's what matters. Real change.
Show up at the polls in November.
Anyways, Black lives do matter. Yes, all lives matter. Yes, blue lives matter. That's not the point. All they want is to be treated the same way. It's that fucking simple. Jesus Christ. So, I guess the Russians were at it again. And once again, Trump looks the other way. And again, I don't understand how the right has become the left and how the left has become the right. In the past, the right would have shit their pants about Russia, putting bounties on troops and hacking our, trying to get our vaccine information and this and that, which is basically what supposedly is going on. And more recently, supposedly the Chinese are doing it too. More likely than not, to make money. Because let's face it, the first one who comes up with a safe vaccine, whoo-hoo, paid. Okay? So these motherfuckers are putting their best hackers out there, and they're trying to get all the info because they want to be the first. So I don't know if you've seen it.
It's a space race all over again, first to the fire.
Well, supply and demand, right? What's the most demanded thing right now besides COVID masks and ventilators? A vaccine. Sure. A vaccine would be pretty fucking sweet. I tell you what, like restaurants are open and stuff still down here, but I still won't go to them. But man, I'm so fiending to just sit down and have a nice fucking steak dinner at a steakhouse and just have somebody else cook. Like, I mean, I know you can get takeout, but a steak dinner you can't get takeout. Like, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
But whatever. So I'm watching, and this connects to the right and the left turning into opposites, and protecting our liberties and all of this stuff, right? So the anti-maskers, that's their whole platform, right? You're not going to make me wear a mask. It's my right, blah, 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 all that bullshit, right? So we talked about how these assholes try to come up with their little fake mask exempt cards and whatnot. Guess what they're doing now? They are protesting by wearing masks, but masks made of crochet or lace, or I think I saw something where a woman had like her panties on her face. Like, they're making a mockery of it. And it's real. It's real because Florida right now is getting danger. California is just about to pass New York in COVID cases. Florida is not too far behind. Okay. I think in the end, Florida is going to be ahead of New York, because when I go to stores, I see these assholes and they wear the mask to get in. And then as soon as they get in, they pull them down. They have their whole fucking big nose hanging out. They have it hanging from their ear. Like, I'm about to get into a fight with somebody because I'm about to start checking these motherfuckers, because they're putting my life at risk. They're putting my wife's life at risk, potentially even more if I get it and I'm carrying it and I don't even know, and I take it to my grandmother's house or something like that. So I'm pretty sure before this is over, I'm going to get punched in the face. I'm just putting it out there. So when it happens, I'll come on the pod and I'll have a nice fucking black eye or busted nose or whatever, fat lip, whatever, wherever they get me. Hopefully I won't catch a bad one. Hopefully I'll, throw a few back and stick and move or whatever. But hopefully I don't come on lumped up is the point. But that's where it's getting to, because these anti-maskers, they're just not giving up. And I don't understand it. Every week we get on here and we talk about these assholes, and every week they're coming up with new ways to say fuck you.
Yeah, well, I mean, and now even the president is jumping on the wear a mask platform. Like, he's obviously gotten some advisement from someone along the way that goes, "Hey, you fucking idiot! Like, wearing masks is a good thing. We need to encourage Americans to wear a mask." And so now, his latest thing is he tweeted that wearing masks are it's patriotic.
Yeah. Let's see how much that influences people to wear masks. I don't know, But
but people are making this a party thing. They're
yes,
making it a party thing, and it's like, oh, I'm Republican. I'm not wearing a mask. I believe in civil liberties. Well, you know what? Just fucking wear the mask. Be considerate of someone other than yourself. Like, no one's forcing you to wear the mask. They're asking you to wear the fucking mask.
speaking of masks, and speaking of the COVID blowing up down here, they're catching these assholes having full blown, like, not just house parties, like almost like block parties. Like these
Yeah, I've seen.
cocksuckers. You seen that they had the night vision and they showed all these assholes. They rent like vacation homes and everybody's partying their dicks off like if nothing's going on. Like what
Like
the fuck?
these underground nightclubs.
And supposedly, like, these aren't like just fun loving kids. Some of these are like some
These are
straight up.
fucking gang members.
Some of these are straight up thugs coming in with guns and this and that because they made some arrests and they got a few weapons. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man, it's like I don't know what the fuck is going on. I should have stayed in Boston, man. This place is crazy.
Yeah. So Virginia is like, where I guess the governor's in a transitional phase right now, where he's trying to decide um, if he's going to shut down bars and restaurants early. Um, he's definitely like he hired 100 new health inspectors and ABC agents, and basically what they're doing is they're doing like surprise checkups on bars and restaurants, and if you're not in compliance, like, they're pulling your health permit. If you're not wearing your mask, if your guests are not wearing their masks, if you're not social distancing, if you're not prepared to like and set up for social distancing, they are shutting you down. And just this weekend, they did it in the Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach area. They closed down about 5 or 6 different restaurants, just for not being compliant.
Well, I think that's a responsible thing to do, but it's also another slippery slope because you can't constantly police everyone, and there's so many fucking dummies that if I turn my face this way to look and deal with something over here, and there's something happening behind me, and they happen to walk in and they find that right at that moment, and I get in trouble for that. That's not right. Like, I haven't even had a chance to address that person because I might have a situation on this side.
Well,
So
and a lot of the problem I have with it is, I do agree that everyone should be wearing masks. I think that, you know, it's something we just need to do. The problem is now we're being put in position as businesses because our licenses are being threatened, our food, our health, our liquor licenses are being threatened. That now we have to be the one to enforce the governor's order to these people. So there's no civil penalty, there's no fine or whatever. They're not breaking any law. They're just failing to abide by the governor's order. And the governor has basically told us, like, well, if you don't treat it the same way as no shoes, no shirt, no service, and refuse them service, I'm going to pull your liquor license. I'm going to pull your health permit.
yeah, but I'm sure there's like probably an appeals process and all of that stuff. And I mean, you have to admit there are plenty of places looking the other way when it comes to this stuff. So I think it's needed. But I can see your point, and I feel like if they catch, put it this way, to me, this is the fair way to do it. If they see there's signs that say you need a mask to enter, if they come in and they see all the servers and all of the staff wearing masks like they're supposed to, and they see, a majority of the people, the fucking patronizers trying to comply, and you happen to see a couple, or one or two here or there with the mask hanging on the side of their face or with their nose out or whatever, I don't think that's an egregious offense where you take away the license. It's when you walk into a place and you see people with no masks at all and nobody's doing anything, or the staff is not wearing a mask. I think that's more what this is aimed at.
Yeah. Well, and that in the business I'm involved with, we are 100% compliant. Like, we require our staff to wear it. And just this weekend, we basically told any guest that entered the building, like, hey, you gotta have a mask. You gotta have a mask to be here. You know, if you don't have one, we'll provide you one, but you gotta have one.
Well, I think that's the responsible thing to do. But enough mask talk. We talked about masks for it seems like forever. So I'm watching the news and I see in Oregon they're still having these protests, right? So this one dude, man, he seemed like he was just standing there, just shouting shit, wearing a Navy sweatshirt. Have you seen this guy? The fucking guy like pummels him in the leg with his baton, and the guy doesn't even flinch. He sprays him, he maces him in the face. The guy barely like he like turns away, but he shrugged it off like nothing. This fucking guy was a champ. And I don't even think he was doing anything.
That's the guy that's been training for this his whole life.
I guess. But I don't even think the guy was doing anything wrong. I don't know. I don't know the full context, so I can't say that. However, the person that was doing these things to him was dressed in fatigues, was apparently a federal officer of some sort. Nobody knows where they came from. Apparently Trump sent them there, or the White House administration sent them there. They have no identifying markers on any of their uniforms. They're in unmarked vans and shit like that, and they're policing the streets. So they can basically do anything to anyone, and nobody knows who they are. And this is what's crazy about the left turning to the right and the right turning to the left, because the right is always talking about, you're not going to infringe upon my rights. You're not going to infringe upon my civil liberties and all of this shit. But it's okay for the federal government to just send a bunch of dudes in fatigues to go and this happened. They are grabbing people and putting them in these vans. And I don't know if they're arresting. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But how fucked up is that they're allowed to do this without any without knowing who the fuck they are? So if I'm some militant group, which there are plenty, and I want to take advantage of this, and I'm against the Black Lives Matter movement, I get a bunch of my buddies, clan style, we all dress in fatigues, we all grab our guns, we all get in unmarked fucking things, and we just go start kidnapping people. Who, what's the difference? There's actually they have a lawsuit against the federal government because they're doing this, because they are violating people's rights. And who's to say if these assholes don't fuck somebody up unjustly, who's going to be held accountable for it? Yeah. Like that. Again, I don't know the full context of it, but the guy in the Navy sweatshirt was standing there. And all of a sudden, you see one of those guys just bash him in the leg with the fucking baton and then spray him in the face. Maybe they told him to move on and he didn't. Fine, whatever. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. My point is, if it got worse, there's nobody to hold accountable for it because you don't know who anybody is. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. So normally, the far right would be shitting their pants about this. And they're just twiddling their thumbs and they're just like, well, that's what the president wants, blah, blah. What? Normally, the far right will be shitting their pants over us doing anything with Russia. And instead, they're just like, oh, well, we got to have good relations with Russia. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? When do you guys think this way? Holy shit.
I mean,
go watch fucking Red Dawn, you cocksuckers. Remind yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the bounty scandal, just kind of got brushed over just blows my fucking mind. I'm like, they were putting bounties on American soldiers. Bounties. Like, they were paying to have our citizens killed.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. But Trump wasn't briefed or slept through the briefing or whatever the fuck he claimed. And he's getting a pass. He's getting a fucking pass. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how these guys line up to give him a pass. But whatever. I guess some of us care about these things and some of us just care about like red or blue, and they don't fucking see what's good for the country. You know, we obviously the Libertarian Party isn't doing shit. We need to come up with a new party. I need to start working on that. I'm gonna come up with a new party, and I'm not gonna have no stupid elephant or donkey or anything like that as my mascot. I'm gonna have something real. I haven't figured it out yet.
it's a bull with a big old set of balls.
I haven't figured it out yet, but it's gonna be better than the bullshit that's already there. Hell, I might even have the gay flag as my fucking as the color. That way you don't just have one color, motherfucker. We got all the colors, all of them. Anyways, let's get on to some lighter shit. So last week we talked about the coin shortage. So I'm guessing you had some more issues with that.
Yeah, so that shit's just ongoing. It's fucking everywhere you go now. They're like, you know, they got signs that you can round up and donate it. Which, number one, like, I don't know what fucking cause you're donating that shit to, or if you're even fucking donating it or padding your bottom line. So, you know, that's troubling to me, you know. The other thing is, so I go to fucking Walmart the other day, and, you know, I'm just running in to get a couple things. You know, I mask up, I run in there, and I get done, and I go up front. Well, all the registers, like all the automated registers, the self-checkouts, are
Yeah.
card only.
Mm-hmm.
So all of them are card only. The self-checkouts are card only. There's one register open. One register. So I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Well, of course, there's a like a group of people in front of me. The woman in front of me's got a cartload just bubbling over full of shit. Which, by the way, she wasn't even fucking paying with cash. She's paying with a fucking EBT card, and fucking I had to wait behind her. And I'm like, you could have went to any of the self checkouts, but you chose to come to the fucking line where the goddamn cashier is that is accepting cash. Whatever.
Well,
So
time out. Why would I want to bag my own shit if I can have somebody else do it for me?
if you see there's only one fucking register that accepts cash and you're not using cash, why would you be that selfish dickbag and not go to fucking one of the other registers?
Because I don't want to bag my own shit. I want somebody else to do it for me.
So you just inconvenience everyone else around you?
I guess.
So, anyways.
Hold on,
so
time out. Wait. We can't move on yet. Hold on. So, how many items did you have?
I had 3 items.
So, this lady is an asshole, not because she went into that line to have her shit bagged. She's an asshole because she should have let you just go in front of her. Because, as a courtesy, being the fucking, just the tremendously nice guy that I am, if I ever get in front of somebody and have a lot of shit and they've got like 1 or 2 things, I always let them cut in front of me. It's just a rule of mine. 5, minimum 5 or maximum 5. You got more than 5, fuck off. But if you got around, I might even give them a, you know, I might even let them go up to 7. Depends on my mood. But if you don't have a basket or a carriage, if you have everything that you want to, you know, buy in your hands, if you can hold all that shit in your hands, then I'm letting you cut in front of me. So this person is an asshole, not because they went in the line, because of the, you know, all that other shit, because they didn't just let you say, hey, you just got a few things, go ahead, go in front. Continue, please.
Yeah. Well, besides the fact, so, and like one of the girls ends up coming up that works there, one of the other cashiers from customer service is like, "Oh, you only have 3 items. Come over here. I'll cash you out." Mind you, I've been waiting in this fucking line for almost 20 minutes now, and this person's like cashing out. So like they're getting ready to leave. But I'm like, all right, cool. So I walk over there and she goes, "Well, I hope you're having a wonderful day." So I explained to her, I was like, "No, I'm not having a wonderful day. I think it's absurd that you guys only have one register open that accepts cash, you know, when, there's people here that need to buy shit." So my circumstance of getting stuck behind this woman, I had no choice. So which, she responds to me. She goes, "Well, sorry, we're shorthanded." I was like, "Well, it's not about being shorthanded because you have all these wonderful fucking self checkouts. Like, why not like make one of those cash?" So the girl proceeds to tell me, "Sorry, sir. In America, we have a coin shortage."
He told you.
and I almost lost my shit, but I did it. I let her ring it up, and then I slammed my fucking $20 bill on the counter and told her, "Keep the fucking change for your shortage."
What a hardo.
But I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
I will say this. You made a rookie mistake there also, because if I only have 3 items, I'm always going to the electronic section to check out. Always.
I wasn't in a Walmart, like Walmart Supercenter. I was in a Walmart Marketplace.
Oh, I got you, like the grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well, then that's
that wasn't
different.
even an option.
Then you don't have a choice. I got you. Well, I mean, what can I say? That's why I rarely use cash. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I mean, they should at least allow you to do like exact change, right? Because maybe you have a pocket with some coins in it, and they can get some motherfucking coins. Like, then you'll have assholes coming with their little piggy banks and feeding the coins so they have some coins. Like, encourage people to do that shit.
I just didn't understand. I was like, it makes zero sense that you can have 2 registers open, one at the customer service and one where this like cashier was that had change, but you couldn't make one of those kiosks, like one of those self checkouts, have fucking coinage. Like,
Well, unfortunately, we're seeing more and more of those self checkouts, and that's the problem. Like, so they're getting rid of it's helping them get rid of actual laborers. So if they didn't have all of those, then they would have had more lines open, and you wouldn't have ran into that. You know what I mean? But
no.
They're all trying to, cut and make the bottom line bigger. So what can we automate? Just like McDonald's with their touchscreen menus and all of that shit. Like, and now we get rid of cashiers, and that's why everybody's trying to get you to use the apps, because then that's one less person we got to hire. You're doing the job for us.
No. Well, I mean, like I said, it infuriated me that they didn't think the process through to say, "Oh, well, we're going to have a automated way of doing this for people who have 3 to 5 items, and then we're going to have full service line that's available with an actual cashier." Like, somewhere in the back office, someone didn't go, maybe this is a good idea.
Well, just like everything else, there's good management and bad management. So unfortunately, we're going to run into those sometimes. But speaking of meltdowns, a certain presidential candidate seems to have lost his fucking mind. Now, I will preface this by saying this dude has, I think, already shown that he has mental issues. So hopefully he gets the help that he needs. But he is off the reservation right now. And if he ends up on the ballot and you vote for him, you need a fucking dope slap that could be heard on Mars. Because
Yeah, just
if
cut your
you
card up.
if you vote for this fucking clown, I mean, and I shouldn't say clown because if he's going through some shit, then I don't want to call him a clown. But if you vote for somebody this unstable, like you got to really reevaluate what your priorities in life are, and just Jesus Christ. So of course we're talking about Kanye, and he had his little rally, which was kind of a joke. Where it didn't look organized at all.
Well, here's my thing. And just like the day before, he announced he was dropping out of the race.
Well, he had the rally. Maybe it was rushed. Um, Coincidentally, in a state that Biden won big time during the Democratic primary, which was South Carolina, which turned his whole campaign around. Um, Coincidence? Plan? I don't know. But I don't think if that was the plan, I don't think that Trump is going to reap those rewards because he went off the deep end. He started talking about Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves and arguing with people, and it was a mess. It was a mess. And then he proceeded to have a Twitter meltdown where he's basically saying he's the guy from Get Up, which he might be right when you think about the Kardashian clan. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like that's a good metaphor, no?
I don't know, man. He's all over the place.
I mean, but
I
have
don't
you
know if you
seen
saw.
you've seen Get Up, right?
Yeah.
So he's been in that world now for a couple of years. And it's all about the show. It's all about, how they can make money off of stuff. And it's like programmed, like this is what we have to do. This. And the puppet master, Chris Jenner, is, just pulling all the strings on everything. So I could kind of see where he's coming from in that respect. But all the other stuff he said, he's just like, whew, holy
Yeah,
smokes.
his anti-abortion 1 minute, and this woman says something to him about women being raped, and how does he feel about that, and he responds with you know those kids need love too, and then says new parents deserve $1 million. Like, that's fucking nuts all over the place.
He's unfortunately he's got some issues, but if you actually vote for this, like, again, if he makes it on the ballot, if you actually vote for this person to be president of our country, then you've got issues, and we need to reevaluate you.
Your voting rights.
Jesus Christ. um I don't know, you got anything else? Oh, by the way, this is one of the funny things that I saw that cracked me up about it. He called Chris Jenner's boyfriend, who's also black. He called him Kanye. So I guess that's the com version of him. I don't know. I don't know exactly know what that meant, but I thought it was funny that he addressed him as Kanye. So we talked about the cancellation of Aunt Jemima and the rest of them. Uncle Ben, Miss Butterworth, all that stuff. I guess Trader Joe's sells like racially insensitive things. So instead of Trader Joe, it would say Trader Jose's like beer, which is somehow racially insensitive to call it Trader Jose's or Trader Ming's, I think was another name of another product. And this is what we talked about last week, where this shit is just going too far. Like, what is racist about Trader Jose's? It's a name.
Yeah.
You're saying Trader. The place is called Trader Joe's. It's not called Trader Caucasians. And they're not making a beer called Trader Mexican. Like, it's a name. We're canceling names now. Ming, I'm sorry, Ming is a fucking name, you stupid idiots. What the fuck? Well, what's next? You can't run for the border? You can't run for the border because that's oh, I'm sure they got rid of that slogan a long time ago. Imagine trying to come out with that slogan now. Run for the border for Taco Bell. People will lose their fucking shit. We boycott Taco Bell, cancel Taco Bell, run for the border. Like, what the fuck?
And yet, no one has banned ramen yet.
I mean,
because no one's banned ramen. They have Asian flavored ramen. So, by their cancellation policy, they should be so offended by that. It's Asian.
I don't think that translates. Like, if it had the Chinese guy with the fucking the triangle hat on it and like some buck teeth or something like that, then yeah, then they'd have an issue with it. I mean, they're having an issue with everything. Everything.
Yeah, but chicken, beef, shrimp, and Asian flavor. One of these things is not like the other.
I've never seen an Asian flavor.
What? Yes, they have chicken, beef, shrimp, and Asian flavor.
Well, you didn't say that until just now. You do that sometimes. You bury the lead, asshole. Like that's okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you're going to be offended, if you're going to cancel something, why aren't you canceling Asian flavored ramen? Like,
I never even knew that existed. I swear to God, I'm completely oblivious to that. But even that, like, well, Asia's big. So to say Asian flavor makes no sense because India is part of Asia, and India's has way different flavor than China does, right? So to say Asian flavor, like, that doesn't even make any sense. But if I was to say Mexican flavor versus Asian flavor or versus, I don't know, fucking Irish flavor, is that really that offensive? Is it? I don't think it is.
I mean,
they use different spices.
I think 90% of this cancel culture shit is bullshit. Like,
it's just gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand, and it just keeps getting worse. And it's to the point now where I can't even grab me a 6-rack of fucking Trader Jose's beer because it offended somebody. Which,
yeah, I mean,
I've never had Trader Jose's beer, but for all I know, it could be delicious. And now I'm not going to get I guess they'll rebrand it. But it's just so stupid. It's so stupid to waste time on. And it's stupid of Trader Joe's to fold like a tent just because a couple of assholes say, oh, this is racially insensitive. Like, start standing up for yourselves and start saying, no, fuck you. This isn't insensitive. This isn't like, this is just a play on names. Suck a dick. Suck 2 dicks. This is fucking garbage. Like, when is it going to stop? Everybody is we're walking around in fucking bubbles and headphones on? What the fuck are we doing?
Well, and legitimately, I think if Trader Jose's fucking beer tastes like a Mexican beer, like Dos Equis, then call it fucking Trader Jose fucking beer. Why is that a big deal? Like, who gives a shit?
Well, apparently these assholes did. And
Yeah, like
they sent a few emails, and that's all it took. That's all it took was a few emails, and they folded. They folded that quick because everybody's so fucking scared. Twitter has become the tool to take people down. To Twitter has become the weapon of choice to cancel everything. And mind you, usually in most of these cases, it's at the most a couple thousand people. That's it. Those are the only assholes who are offended by a lot of this shit. And everybody else is like, who gives a fuck? But yet they fucking bend the knee to these few thousand assholes. What the fuck are we doing?
It's like the Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins, for many years, like the name has been contested.
Nope.
By
I don't think
Americans.
it's like the Washington Redskins. But go ahead.
No. Listen. So for many years, this has been a contested thing. You know, people had problems with the name, and all of a sudden, with this cancel culture thing comes out, and immediately sponsorship like goes, oh no, we don't want to be involved with the Washington Redskins. You guys got to change the name, and they buckled, and everyone's fucking like they're changing the name.
But that's
like,
that's a legit that's a legit cause.
But my thing is, it is. But my thing is, this has been a conversation for years, and everyone for years before this was like, you know what, fuck you. We're the Washington Redskins. No one cares. Like, get over it. Like,
agreed.
No one gave a shit. No one fucking like spoke up and
until
said,
the sponsors started pulling out. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're right. That's what made them change it. As soon as who was it? FedEx and Pepsi, like their biggest sponsors, as soon as they said you need to do something or we're out, of course they're gonna change it. Of course, because it always comes down to money. But in this Trader Joe's example, these assholes had no leverage. Like everybody's just trying to act like they're super woke, and they're just making things worse. Because then when you have real legit things like the Redskins that need to be addressed, these fucking assholes like I don't know, man. It minimizes everything when you start paying attention to these stupid little things, because then what's going to happen is people are going to get numb to it the same way that we got numb to school shootings, the same way that we got numb to Trump's fucking lies and bullshit. Like, we're just getting numb to everything. People got numb to COVID and don't give a fuck that we're close to 150,000 Americans that have died from this fucking things. So they're like, big fucking nose out, no mask. Who gives a fuck? Like, we're getting numb to this shit because it's overplayed. It's overplayed. And it happens quickly. Now, in some cases, it deserves all the play it gets, as in COVID. But in cases like this, when we're talking about changing the name of a fucking beer that's named after a name, it's not Trader Mexicans. It's not Trader. And honestly, it's not even like if they called it Trader Speedy Gonzalez, then maybe you could make a case. You'd have
yeah, I mean, if it personified the stereotype,
you'd have a big dump in your pants. But whatever. Like they're playing on the name Trader Joe's, Trader Jose's, Trader Ming's. Like, it's not fucking offensive. Cut it out. Cut it out. Anyways, this fucking episode is way too fucking serious. God damn it. So I noticed, with the people that actually wear masks, like good citizens and careful, thoughtful folks, I started thinking, like, when you're wearing a full mask, you can only kind of see the eyes, right? So let's say you're a single guy and you see a girl with a mask and she's looking all right. She's got, nice figure. Maybe she got them legs out, nice tan, whatever. Eyes look good, but you can't see the rest of the face. So what if you start like kicking it to her and you get them digits, right? You talk to her, she seems cool, you make a date. When in Florida, you can go somewhere. So you go somewhere, have a meal, gotta pull that mask off, right? To eat. She pulls that mask off and she's got that fucked up yuck mouth looking like
she's got a mustache.
she's got teeth running in every direction. You know, some are yellow, some are fucking rotten. What do you do then? Like, you're already committed. You're already sitting down for dinner. You've already ordered. The apps are at the table. The drinks are flowing. What do you do at this point?
Start coughing. Start coughing. Start coughing. Convince her that you got the virus. You got the Rona and you gotta go.
I don't think that'll work. I think that would just hurt her feelings. See, I'm a very thoughtful person. Hence the
Fuck out of here.
I'm extremely thoughtful. Matter of fact, I give the best Christmas gifts ever because I think I'm so thoughtful. But like we talked about earlier, I'll let you go in front of me with your 3 items because I'm that thoughtful. If I see the yuck mouth come out, my plan B will, and I didn't even think about this beforehand. I think my plan B was you whip out your phone and you're like, oh shit. And you kind of play it up and you're like, oh shit, I gotta go. My mom's on her way to the hospital or whatever. You use whatever family member, whatever. My dog is sick. I don't give a fuck. Like you find something for your phone is your way out without like hurting her feelings. That's your way out. Just start coughing and acting like you got the vid. I don't think that's gonna work. But
make it so uncomfortable that she wants to leave. I'm telling you, that's a trick. Fucking, you start hacking and coughing, and she goes, we can do this another time. Like, okay.
That's a good point. What you could do is, here's a plan B. Just rip a fucking monster fart. I'm talking one of those ones where you gotta lean to the side and it vibrates off the fucking bench and everything. I think that would probably work. Although maybe not. Maybe not, because if she's got a yuck mouth, she might be willing to accept certain things.
Yeah, she might have lowered expectations as well.
Exactly. So you might have to lay it on thick if you start acting like you want to make her bounce. She might be willing to tolerate a lot. So I'm telling you, the phone's the best angle. It's like you just whip out the phone. You're like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like, and you make up some bullshit excuse.
No, but if she's got a yuck mouth, she's had to have had that experience before. Like, so I think the way to do it is like to fucking fake you got the Rona, and then when she calls eventually, like you have a friend answer the phone and say, "I'm sorry, he died. Like he got the rotavirus and died." Like,
Nah, that's not gonna work. So this is how you do it though to make it look to make it look right. You slide the phone underneath the table, right? You make sure your volume is on full blast, and then you text yourself like 5 straight texts, and you send them consecutively. Bing, 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 and then you act like you're pulling it out of your pocket. You pull it up, and that's when you start like, oh shit, and then all of a sudden you hear bing, 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 bing. Then she knows like something's really going on. She's not gonna think you're bullshitting because she's hearing the dings, and she sees you getting all these text messages. So it's like, oh shit. So then I'm telling you, that's the move. That's the move to make. We're helping our single brothers out there who have to holler at chicks during a pandemic. We're helping you guys with spreading knowledge on how to get out of the yuck mouth. Okay, guys?
look, and And the worst case scenario, if you can't get out, just drink a lot of like Trader Jose's and put her face down, bro. Like,
Or just pull a Kanye and get up and just start wilding out about stupid, just start screaming random stupid shit and just get the fuck out of there. Just leave her behind. I mean, or toss a $20 bill on the fucking table so she can take a cab or whatever and just leave and just be Kanye'd out. I don't know.
stand up, be like, I knew you were a gold digger. I gotta go. Fucking hate gold diggers.
Harriet Tubman's a lie. Just start wilding out. Yeah, I don't know. Good luck, guys. So what happened with you burning down the house?
So yesterday I get home, and I don't smoke in my house, so I have my last cigarette of the night. So, I've got this butt can that I keep kitty litter in that I throw my cigarettes in. So I finish my cigarette, I throw it in there, come in the house, and I'm laying down, and I smell a little smoke. Fucking I was like, what the fuck is that? Open the front door, and there's 6 foot fucking tall flames. My porch is on fire.
Holy shit!
Butt can's melted, and I'm like, oh shit! So I'm running to fucking bail out the fire and put out the fire and shit. And I'm in my underwear and my fucking no shoes on, fucking bailing water on my front porch. Fucking in the process.
You know what I'm picturing when you're telling me this story? I'm picturing you running and grabbing the hose from the sink and running with it, but it does. It's not long enough. It's not long enough, so it pulls you back, and you're like, "Fuck."
So I get these bottles of water and shit, and I get putting out the fire. Well, I'm barefooted. I don't realize that the fucking board I'm standing on is on fire. So I take a step forward. I burn my foot. Fucking, I'm like, oh shit, that's hot. Fucking burn my foot. And then so as I finally get the fire under control, and I get everything's it's smoldering and it's going out. I look over at my 2 dogs, and one's just got his head up what are you doing? The other one's just oh, water. And I'm like, what the fuck? Lassie would be like, row, row, there's a fire. Fucking you fucks, sleep through it. You look at me like I'm stupid because I'm running around trying to put out the fire. Where was your assistant, you bougie ass fucking bitches?
They didn't want to have nothing to do with it. They were like,
oh.
They were like, that's your problem.
Looking at me in my boxer briefs and fucking barefoot, just
laughing at you. They're like, did you see what this ass? They're talking to each other. Did you see what this asshole did with the fucking little spray nozzle?
And I'm half I'm making a ruckus. So I'm half expecting the neighbor to come out and be like, this fucking asshole's out here fucking in his boxer briefs trying to put out a fire. Dancing because I burnt my fucking feet.
If anything, this is a message to all of you listening. To even if it's one of the small ones, have a little fire extinguisher handy wherever you are. It might make a difference.
Well, and the other thing is when it's been incredibly hot for 3 or 4 days, maybe you should water down your fucking butt can. If you're gonna use a fucking cigarette ashtray thing outside, because I guess that bitch was dry as shit and caught fire. But had it been 20 more minutes, it might have been a big problem. Fucking my porch was on fire.
Damn. Well, we're glad you made it out alive. Would have been a big problem for the show. It would have had to change to Random Richard, which is not as much fun. So yeah, there it is.
Well, Can you see them finding me, naked in my boxer briefs, like burn on my foot? Well, how'd he go out? Well, he was using that little hose thing from the sink. Slipped and broke his neck.
He was trying to like put his thumb on it like you do with the hose, but it wasn't working. Oh shit. Well,
I think at one point I eyed the dog's dish and I was like, "Fuckers!" So I used their water container.
well, at least you learned. Sometimes it's a life lesson, I guess. Glad I don't smoke, so I don't have to deal with that shit. Anyways, I got nothing else. I guess we'll, unless you got anything, we'll catch you next week.
Let's wrap it up.
All right, later.